Howdy, howdy. This is Jack with a Geek's Perspective. This is Starcraft Remastered. It's only remastered because it's touched up like a little bit of the graphics and they added a few things. Now, I've already done a previous video where I showed you the Terrans. Now I want to show you the Zerg. It is warning me that because I haven't played all the way through the Terran campaign, I'm going to be missing stuff, but whatever. If you're interested in the game and you're worried about spoilers, or you are wanting me to play it all the way through so you can see the storyline, don't watch this video, because you're going to get some spoilers. Maybe off the start. I can't remember the order of the missions, I just know a couple of the missions directly address something that did happen in the Terran campaign. And the same is true when I go to the Protoss campaign. So if you're interested in me just playing through the Terran side, leave a comment. You can leave it on the previous video, you can leave it on this video, I don't care. Just let me see it. Worst case scenario, if you want, you can hit me up on the Geeks Perspective channel on Facebook. Just type in the Geeks Perspective, leave a comment there. Anyway, let's keep going. I am wearing my contacts today, so the Overmind is the leader of the Zerg, by the way. The swarms have crushed the meager human resistance and laid waste to 9 of 13 Terran worlds. So there's 5 left. Nope, 4 left. I can math. Shortly after the fall of the Terran capital of Tarsonis, the end of the Terran campaign, by the way, the main Protoss fleet abandoned the Terran sector. The Protoss were only in the Terran sector because they were trying to purify all the Zerg, and if the humans happen to be in the way, so be it. They can be rather heartless. They may not have a heart, by the way. New efforts continue on Tarsonis to weed out the remaining Protoss forces. Among the ruins, Confederate capital world, Tarsonis.
Awaken, my child, and embrace the glory that is your birthright. Know that I am the Overmind, the eternal will of the Swarm, and that you have been created to serve me. Behold, that I shall set you amongst the greatest of my cerebrates, that you might benefit from their wisdom and experience. Yet your purpose is unique. While they carry forth my will to the innumerable broods, you have but one charge entrusted to your care. For I have found a creature that may yet become the greatest of my agents. Even now, it resides within a protective chrysalis, awaiting its rebirth into the swarm. You must watch over the chrysalis and ensure that no harm comes to the creature within it. Go now and keep safe my prize.
So, slight spoiler, the creature that's in the chrysalis, yeah. Not only the greatest agent, but it far surpasses the Overmind. And you're what's called a cerebret. Cerebrets are basically Zerg minds. It's effectively their lieutenants or commanders, whatever you want to call them. They mind control the Zerg and its surrounding area and under its brood. So, let's go. You are a cerebret, though.
The hatchery is the heart of any Zerg colony. It spontaneously generates larvae, which in turn are used to spawn your various warriors and minions.
Zerg only have one thing that spawns
Now, create a drone and start gathering resources.
So Zerg only have one thing that actually spawns units, and that's the hatchery. They evolve into other things further along the line, but they always are the ones that are going to have the larva, no matter which version they're in. They just get bigger. So with a Zerg base, you're probably going to have more than one hatchery. It's usually a good idea. It allows for...
Overlords provide control for your minions. As your forces grow in number, you must hatch more overlords to control them. You have enough minerals. Select a larva and mutate it into an overlord.
Their overlords, which I'll show you, it's one of these, are essentially the supply depots that a Terran has. Now they have the advantage over the supply depots, they're mobile. The disadvantage is they later on become your transport unit. And they're also stupidly slow moving. Oh, and they have an ability called Detector. Detectors are a rather advanced thing you need to pay attention to. Invisible units and burrowed units can be spotted with it. Important to know.
To create new warrior strains, you must generate the various hive structures. The drones themselves mutate into these structures. Yet be careful. Never use your last drone to make a building.
He's definitely right about that. You can really screw up.
Now, order your drone to become a spawning pool. You'll notice that structures can only implant themselves upon the creep.
Same as this before, I'm building an
You
infrastructure
can
on
make
drones.
creep colonies to extend the creep, but only a hatchery can be built upon open ground.
The creep colonies also have the advantage that they can later on turn into stationary defense structures. So I got
We require more minerals.
I'm gonna go ahead and F that one, just keep gathering minerals until I have enough. So yeah, the creep colonies, they turn into either a ground striking unit structure or an air striking one. I think both of them have detector, which is good because Terrans have a starfighter that can go invisible for a time. Sorry about that. And Protoss have a unit that's perpetually cloaked. Cool, I have enough now. Now, something extremely worth mentioning, hey Zane, is that you cannot repair a Zerg building. It heals, which is both good and bad. Bad because it's slow. Good, it doesn't require materials. It just takes time. And Zerg units also heal themselves. If a Zerg unit does not die, given time, it will heal. But as far as I can remember, there is no specific unit that heals other Zerg. It just takes time. Just making more drones. It does look a little disgusting as it mutates. You can usually tell the process just by how much health it has. You don't even have to look down here, you just look at how much health it has. There's a trick with the Terrans you can do. You can have them repair the structure while it's being made. It doesn't make it build faster, it just gives it more health, which makes it harder to destroy, which can be a very beneficial thing in whatever situation. I don't know if I'm going to need the extractor. I'm going to need Vespine gas. I'm going to build one anyway. Cool. So I built the spawning pool. I'm afraid I may have already had one. Yeah, I'm going to need that just because of that. So let's go ahead so I can get some Vespine gas.
I am Zaz. I too am a cerebrate of the Overmind. I have located a small band of Terrans who could threaten the Chrysalis and the Hive Cluster. You must not allow them to leave here alive.
So if you've done the smart thing and built multiple hatcheries, you are able to just pour out units. Because whereas like the Terrans and Protoss can only make one at a time, the Zerg can just go, I'm making 50. Well, not literally 50 because your limitations are how many hatcheries are in the area. But you can just pump out in multiples of 3 pretty easily. That's kind of a big deal. The disadvantage is you have to wait until the larva spawns from the hatchery. But usually most things, by the time it's done making its current payload, it'll have made at least 1 more larvas. But if you have like 4 hatcheries, that's 4 of whatever you're making. Possibly 8 if you're making the Zerglings. Once I get enough of this material. One thing I do want to note, I do like how this looks like it's wrapped in bio stuff. I don't know if I showed you in the Terran, they have like these little blocks they carry them in. So it just feels appropriate for these species, which I find awesome. So I'm going to build what's called a Hydralisk deck. You remember the things that were spitting at me as a Terran? That's a Hydralisk. It's the first ranged unit you get as a Zerg, and it's the most prevalent. One of the common things you'll do is you'll have a rush of Zerglings with some Hydralisks behind them, because the Hydralisks do more raw damage, but the Zerglings, they attack fast, very fast. little bit more of the best meat gas than I can make myself, and start researching the ability to attack faster. And there we go. So, and then the next thing I'll do is I'll teach them how to play. It's not that I'm actually going to have you turn into a drone. The rest of you turn into some Zerglings. And it only cost me 15 of the crystals to make a single Zerg. But it spawns into 2. So once again, that's an investment that's up there. It could cost the same amount as a single Marine, but I'm getting twice as many units. The disadvantage is they are rather squishy in comparison. So this Zerg is going to go off here, and I'm going to make another hatch because I have the resources and it's going to extend the creep. I do want to start looking into making another overlord. And there I go, I'm making an overlord. It's going to expand. If you look in the top right-hand corner, you'll see the supplies number. I have 1925.
Our forces are under attack.
If you double-click on a unit, it'll select all of the region. So keep that in mind. In reality, I probably have the resources to just kind of start walking towards them. I'm not going to just yet. I want to build at least a couple hydralisks. Probably going to have to do one more overmind just because of by the way, Zerg, although you produce 2 of them, only count as 1 towards the overmind thing. So keep that in mind. It actually is a really big advantage. Another advantage that Zerg have that Terrans and Protoss do not, as you're upgrading a structure, you can still make units from it. Because it's only the hatcheries. And the hatcheries have like 2 upgrades to them. And while they're upgrading, they're still going to produce larvae. And it's the larvae that transform, not the thing being produced. So I'm going to build one more group of Zerglings. I'm also going to change where they go with the spot and put it up there. And this should be done pretty shortly, and I'll be able to do things faster. Because I just have more larvae being produced. These are things you got to consider for the game. And probably much more than you need to know, honestly. The game is very intuitive. You kind of pick up on it pretty quickly. I think I only have 2 larvae right now, possibly 3. Come on, double click on the larvae. There we go. Because I have 2 hatcheries, I was clicking on it instead of 2. So if you only want one hatchery's worth of stuff, you can go to the hatchery and hit select larva. But if you want all the larvae potentially, you either mouse over them and select them, or you double click on the one of the larvae and it'll select them all. But how they move is a little erratic, so it can be kind of difficult. But with overminds, you really want to keep them out of the way and out of trouble. You don't want them floating over where you're trying to work, because that's difficult. I think my 5th hydralisk, which I'm making right now, should be enough. I want to make you guys see more let me go ahead and do that. Hydralisk. Oh, Hydralisks and Zerglings can go underground. I don't know the ability yet, so I haven't bothered researching it. Oh wait, I already know how to do it, I guess. Oh, I did research it. Okay. So that can lead to a lot of interesting surprise attacks if you really want to do it. So let's see here. Now I'm going to... Oh, I didn't know that. There we go. I didn't tell down on the spawns. I'm going to build some backup Zerglings. Now, as I was mentioning before, you can mark them like 1s and 2s, different squads. With Zergs, you really have to do that. That's not a choice.
Our forces are under attack.
Because they have such numbers, if you really want to control them. I'm going to show you this real fast. See, as you see, he's going up in health. They have such numbers that you have to, because they are most of them are going to be expendable units that you are going to sacrifice, just for wave after wave of soldiers. Whereas Protoss are the opposite, the other extreme. They are more, each unit is expensive, but they're extremely durable.
Evolution complete.
By the way, that's one of the robot things you get later. They're called a Goliath, and it looks like they're going to have some of the air units. I see an air, their starport right there. So, me doing this is going to have the Hydros attack, and then the Zerg is going to go off. Hydros to get rid of the Zerg Rush. If you want to draw a comparison between units, I've been using the Hydros and the Goliaths in the same tier. Now it looks like my forces work. The good news is I did do a lot of damage, and that building's on fire. They're gonna go out. If the health is in the red, it's gonna burn down. I was gonna see if I can get it there, or make them waste the resources to repair it. So that wasn't enough. Cool thing with the Zerg, I can start over. Not an issue. Now I'm going to waste a little bit of resources, by creating a third hatchery. The only reason I call it, it's not actually a waste, it's an investment. Because once again, I'll be able to produce possibly up to 9 units at a time. And I can just continuously do that and just feed the meat grinder. About indefinitely. And that's what you want to do. And that's unfortunately what you have to do with the Zerg. They're being blocked off by a Zerg. The one thing I kind of wish was a thing, but it's not, is the more hatcheries you had, it counts as control as well. I forget what Protoss have, but you have supplies for Terrans, control for Zerg, and I forget what it is for Protoss. But every unit, not only every unit, but every race has its advantage and disadvantage. Zergs are just their cheapness and their raw numbers. Come on. What? Probably gonna have to produce a couple extra Hydros just because I didn't expect them to have Goliaths. Goliaths have 2 modes. They shoot with a machine gun on the ground, and they shoot rockets when you're an air unit. Their air unit support is probably their best thing. They're probably the most dangerous for that. Mobile ground defense is phenomenal. Mind you, the basic unit for Terrans is the Marine, who can shoot air units. So if you also want, you just have a line of Marine going down. The only problem is under attack. Where is the attack? Oh god. Was going to produce if I was going to jump into the expansion, I was actually you can play the song, the Overmind song. I forget what it's actually called. I think it's like called the Overmind Rap or something like that. And it just took like it's actually created by Blizzard, and it's hilarious. It's just his opening dialogue there, like spliced into a rap song. If I can find it, I'll provide a link into the description. It'll probably just be another YouTube thing. My double click is not heated, which is okay. I'm going to move you up here. I'm going to make 1 Overmind. By the way, you cannot you cannot move larvae. You cannot tell them, hey, go over here. Something that's Control 2. I should leave some of these units behind, but I did not. Control 3. Change that command. So as I said before, if you tell them to attack and click an open space, they'll attack everything along the way. If you don't, they'll just run to the
forces are under attack.
So this, Squad 3 is pretty much just gone. Now that you've got reinforcement Squad 2, and then the powerful Squad 1, just trying to soften them. Now mind you, they don't attack in unison, they don't attack the same unit. It's kind of chaotic. Reserve, it's not a problem. They're meant to do that. Stop thinking like a tactician reserve and think of it as a swarm. The very word itself should tell you you're supposed to do. Squad 3 is not. Have them march towards the...
Our forces are under attack.
I'm going to make a bunch more Zergling. Partly for defense reasons, partly because... that's what SCVs, which are these things, the ability to prepare and actually defend themselves. They're very weak, obviously. But it's not that they're not... In case you don't remember, that is the building that produces terrorists. One of the advantages of terrorists is because they don't have a centralized building that builds everything. You kind of have to pay attention now. You're going to destroy a lot more buildings. The disadvantage is they're basically a little bit bigger. If they place someone how I do, they might have several. They might have several structures for each unit. So for Marines, they have several barracks, for Goliaths and Vultures, which is what Jim Renner was dressed as from the factory. The starport for both the command ship and starfighters. There's another test. Let me grab my Zerg. I want you to attack anything that you encounter on your way to join them. Which I think you're about to run through another base, actually.
Our forces are under attack.
Zerg. Not encounter another base, so there's just a hidden... something hidden by the fog of war. I'm not going to have you guys because you're my hydralisks. I'm going to have you just go to speed.
Our forces are under attack.
Okay, so that was just... oh, that's, by the way, an anti-air turret. I think in the sequel, you're actually able to alter them so they'll start attacking. This is where the direction I'm supposed to go. That should be it. Yep. I'm going to not click it because I don't want you to see the next part of the story. So I was able to do this without ruining too much. This said Tarsonis Falls and the Confederacy Falls. And if you didn't notice that before, you just found out. This is the Zerg for Starcraft. As I said before, this game's like 10 to 15 bucks for the remastered. It's fun. It is a lot of fun. I highly recommend anybody who likes RTS's real-time strategy, not turn-based strategy, give it a try. If you're a rather competitive person, I'd recommend doing StarCraft 2, which you'll pay a little bit more for. Excuse me. But it's got a very active community. They're constantly releasing new material. So I want to thank everybody for watching, and as always, please like, subscribe, and share.